Good evening. Today I'm going to the courthouse to finish up my divorce stuff. I've been working on getting a divorce for a long time now. I went through Long Star Legal Aid to get a divorce, and that didn't work because they have like a certain timeline, and I didn't meet the timeline, and so they didn't do the divorce for free. So now I'm just doing it manually, and I'm just going to the divorce court with the paperwork for the second time because the first time I didn't fill it out right and I didn't have the waiver. So they have like a fee waiver. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing right now. I don't really have any feelings about it, which is a little insane, but I don't. I can go ahead and describe to you why I got married, when I got married, how I got married, and all that good stuff. So I got married in on January the 28th, 2013 to Derek, my husband now. We're no longer together. We're separated. And so it was 3 years ago. So I was 20 and he was probably 21 when we got married. So people are always like, why get married at such a young age? Why do you think it was such a good thing? At that time in my life, I felt like that was the right thing to do. I didn't think anything was wrong with it. I felt like the love that I had for him, that we can get through anything. Because, at first he used to be a very, very, well, okay, I was submissive, but he was just as submissive as I was. So, when you have two submissive people wanting to do, right by each other, I mean, it's just perfect relationship. So it was like the day before Christmas, I believe. I think that my parents went out of town and he came over there. They don't know. I was still living with them. And he came over there and we were just sitting down talking, and he just looks at me. He goes, Shantora, I have to tell you something. I'm just like, what? I wasn't expecting this at all. He gets down on one knee and asks me to marry him. And it was maybe the 24th, maybe the 24th of December. And I was like, okay. I was kind of shocked. I really didn't have much emotion about it. But, I really loved Derek, and even though we went through a lot of issues in our relationship, I never once felt like it wasn't the right thing. I always felt like, well, you know what, if he's not, if he doesn't do anything that I don't like, as long as he's willing to work on it for me and I'm willing to work on it for him, we can have an actually very good relationship. And so, we get married the next month in January the 28th, 2016. He was like, why wait? I said, okay, why wait? You know what I'm saying? Life is now or never, which I do believe that life is now or never. I never once, it's kind of dark in here, but I never once felt like you need to wait and procrastinate certain things. So I decided to go ahead and go for it. We went to the courthouse, paid the normal 20 something bucks. Now, we did have a lot of issues. Derek had a marijuana problem, which I'm sure everybody does, and I, used to smoke too. And he was really selfish because he was in a home where he was an only child, and his mom gave him everything. She was like, you don't have to work, if I pay everything for you, and so he had to decide rather be married or to just let his mom pay for everything. He chose me over his mom, so that was the good thing about it. And so in this moment, I said, you know what, I think that God wants me to get married. I think that I don't want to be, shacking up, and I think that I actually want to have a decent relationship with someone that can go a lot further than just an average relationship. And I don't know what his reasons were. He says that he just felt like, if he didn't marry me, that somebody else is going to have me, which I guess it's understandable. So we go and get married on the 28th of January. After we got married, we hugged each other so tight. It was a friendship. It was a bond. Now, his nerves were bad. He kept smoking cigarettes. I mean, his nerves were bad. And he gave me the ring, and then we signed a little paper. I think we had to sign, I'm not sure. We signed a little paper, and then we walked out. And then after that moment, we moved into our own apartment. And then a year later, we had our first daughter, Felicity. And honestly, that's the way I would have intended it to happen. I would have had intended it to be, get married, have your kid, have your place, have your car. I had my car, he had a car, he had a job, I had a job. I mean, everything was just smooth sailing, you know. And he had this little, you know, weed addiction, but it wasn't a big deal to me as long as he kept it outside, you know. And obviously, when I was pregnant and when I had my baby, I completely stopped, you know, smoking. Like, that was just, it was over at that point. And I decided, you know, I'm gonna start living a really healthy Christian life. You know, I'm gonna be faithful to my husband, I'm not gonna watch porn. There's a lot of things that I did, you know, differently as far as trying to be a better wife. You know, I tried to cook and clean, but it wasn't that great. I didn't cook every day, I didn't clean every day, you know, but we made it work, you know, and it was okay. It was decent. There's a lot of trials that we had in our marriage, and I will discuss some of that at that time. But it was so crazy because I was in a crossroad a couple years before we got married, because it was, you know, he was cheating on me and, you know, things like that. And he was really repentant of it. You know, he was, I won't do it again. He grabbed the Bible, he got on his knees, and he started crying because he wanted me to forgive him for what he did. And I was like, okay, you know, I forgive you. And I said, the reason why I forgive him, because people will always ask me, why would you be with somebody who cheated on you and, you know, is doing all this stuff? There's a lot more going on. And I was at a crossroads to either choose him or someone else. And I told them, I said, well, God loves us and God chooses us regardless. So why can't I do the same? You know, we can't, you know, God's not going to forgive us if we don't forgive other people. And I believe that the people deserve a chance. I said, he deserves a chance. The reason why marriages don't work now, which is true, is because people don't really put up with anything. And sometimes you do have to kind of take the good and the bad in order to have something successful. And so I stayed with him. We stayed married for 3 years. We got into a house. I mean, things got really good, a lot better. You know, we got better at managing our money. We were just in our own little bubble, in our own little world, doing our own little thing. You know, I started, you know, dog sitting from the house. You know, so I wanted to stay home with my daughter because she was so young. Let me cut the light on. It's a little dark in here. I didn't cut it on. Hang on, you guys. Okay. So, okay, sorry about that. So I started staying home with my, you know, daughter, because she was a little girl, and, you know, mommy's going to protect her. So I put on that type of job, you know, and he was working his regular job. But anyway, so now things have changed so much since those beginning 3 years. You know, this is the end of our third year, and actually started the the issue started in the beginning of our third year. After our 3 year anniversary, that day I knew that it wasn't gonna last anymore. He wasn't home anymore. I had to call him and say happy anniversary, and I was at home with the baby by myself. No TV, no nothing, no food. But anyways, so right now I'm about to go to the courthouse to file a divorce, and the reason why is because once you get to know the real story, you will realize that no one should put up with that. You know, it wasn't just him doing marijuana. It wasn't just him not being home. It's a lot of things that, you know, I did experience within those 3 years that no one knows. But I will discuss them in another video. But right now, the way that I feel about getting this divorce right now is I'm not upset. I mean, it's been 6 months of us being separated. I'm actually really, really excited, and I feel like it's going to be like a burden lifted off of me, and I just feel like it's a new start. And as much as I care about him, I don't know if we'll ever be friends again. We're on non-speaking terms right now, but I do know that this has made me a better person. This marriage, you know, it's going to make me a better person to the right person. It's going to make me choose wisely and know exactly what to look for when I am looking for somebody. There were so many experiences that I learned. You know, I learned how to be more money sufficient. I learned how to take care of, you know, just bills and, you know, mowing the lawn. And, you know, I just learned so many things that helped me to become a better person, you know, and I realized that I can take this with me. That this experience, you know, it's a learning experience, and I don't regret it. I think that it's going to get even better from here for me, and I think that everything that we go through, you know, is either a lesson or a blessing, and it was a little bit of both, a lesson and a blessing. And so that's where I'm going right now. And I'm just waiting for the future to come, and just ready to see what the future holds. We never know, but we always know that life is now or never, and that you do have to treat life with the most respect, because you never know what moments you're going to get back. You have to cherish those moments. You never know if you're going to get them back, if you're going to have them tomorrow. I mean, someone can die. I mean, just all types of different things can happen. And I realized that at least I cherished those moments. At least I did the best thing that I can do at that time. That I was the best me and gave my all and was the best that I can be for me. And I'm changing. I'm evolving into a wonderful mother and a wonderful, not wife, but, I mean, it's going to be different being single because, I've been with him for 8 years. So, since high school, I never had any type of freedom. So I just want to go ahead and just share my thoughts, or just kind of share a little bit of what happened in my marriage. And I hope that y'all have a wonderful day. And just remember, life is now or never. And just continue to live your life and cherish those moments, because you might not be able to go back in time, but at least you have those moments to remember.